So with the coups that we have seen, I think that's the first stage. Then comes in the next stage of, running the country and creating, fighting the economic war. Are the current revolutionary leaders in West Africa prepared to be able to do that?
You can never be prepared for a revolution, unfortunately. The disadvantage we have is that the educated young people are drowning in the Mediterranean. These military leaders who are coming into space, the young people, the technocrats that they need, who can implement the project, they're either too old or they're on the Mediterranean. So now you have the political environment that is conducive. The question is, do you have the academic, the economic, the agriculturalist, and the industrialists who can now fit into those vacuums? Because the danger is, you take over. You chase away the French, you chase away the British, who were manufacturing your sugar and your bread and your peanut butter. Because you abandoned your old ways of life as Africans. So bread will go on scarcity on the market. Salt will go on scarcity on the market. Because the people who have been supplying these things is not you.
Yeah.
But the same people that you're chasing away. So you're going to end up with a hunger strike. And once people get into the rampage of hunger, you are back again. This leader is not good. Let's change him. Let's put another one. And this has been the vicious cycle. So the real war is entrepreneurship, putting means of production in the hands of young people, creating conducive environments for young people to function, and grow the economy from the bottom. You as government put preferential procurement policies that encourage indigenous people. It takes longer, but it is sustainable. And it is fully owned by local people. Because right now, even if we talk about uranium, let uranium stop. Uranium stops. Are your universities right now equipped to build a laboratory, a station for uranium? Is your government prepared to do that? Where do you get the machinery? Where do you get this? So instead of just stopping the uranium, which is giving you the money for now, you may want to sell it at a competitive price, but commit that of every dollar that of per watt goes into the full beneficiation of that resource that you have. So whether it is Zambia for their copper, it is Zimbabwe for their lithium, it is Niger for their uranium. The question is, are you just selling these raw materials? And if you stop selling them, how are you going to have the money that you were having to run the government? But if you should be selling it, what are you doing in the proceeds of that? You're using the money for the proceeds to spend on other things instead of investing on the resource that can actually grow itself. We need to run governments like businesses. Then we'll stop being borrowers and putting our hands in the air. Because the policies that we have put in place to allow resources to go out of the country are the very solution to the needs of the masses at the bottom. You are busy selling raw materials. These are crying for jobs. And you as a leader, you can't think to say the raw materials that I'm selling, if I put them here, I could create a factory that creates the jobs. So it sounds like the economic war needs a totally different type of a gun. We need people who understand not only European economics, Western economics, Chinese economics, but also African economics. Because the pyramids were built in Sudan and in Egypt. We don't know what economics they were using. Benin was built with all the complications of that city. We don't even have the architectural plan and what economics they used. The Great Zimbabwe. So the question of barter, so when I give you something, you give me something. So if I give you my gold, I can't be buying food from you because you've asked me to plant flowers in my house so that I can sell you the flowers. And with the money for gold, then I must buy food to come and eat at home. That's why I say always plant what you eat and eat what you plant. Because you might think as a country that you're in business. Meanwhile, you're running around the same circle. You're busy shipping out coffee. Who eats coffee for breakfast and lunch? And with the money that comes for coffee, now you must buy food. So why not just remove this coffee and plow food that you can eat? This is the mindset that we have. No, the GDP, this affects the GDP. But where's the GDP in my stomach? So if people that are feeding forests, feeding flowers, feeding coffee and things that are inedible because they are of high demand in the West. They will bring forex. Who owns that forex? Who is producing? Who is banking that money? Whose land is it? Are those people eating? Consolidate your thinking as an African nation.